There's a new book out. It's called Why He's a Saint, and it's about Pope John Paul II. And it talks about how he practiced something known as self-mortification.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In other words, he would whip himself, he would hurt himself, he would force himself to sleep on the floor, and this was all acts of penitence. And he wanted to get closer to Christian perfection, according to the book.
Okay. Once again, for us non-religious folks, this sounds like totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. All right, you want to sleep on the floor, and you feel like somehow that perfects you. That's super weird, but I can live with it. Okay. He had a belt that he would take wherever he went, including on vacation, and go to work on himself. Like the Shia do this in the Islam culture, and when we see it, when Americans see that on TV, they're like, "Oh, look at those crazy Shia," as they beat themselves in the back with their chains, right? And that was done recently. Well, it's done every year, but done recently in one of the main Shia religious festivals, right? But apparently the Pope was doing something incredibly similar when he takes the pellet, and he's like, "Wasiktir." They could hear him from outside the room, okay? Basically hurting himself like that. Look, if you're religious and deeply religious, maybe somehow that makes sense to you. They say, hey, that you connect to Jesus that way and you felt his pain. The Shia are very similar. They talk about they feel bad that they weren't there in the important battle that was fought 1,500 years ago, and that they want to connect to that pain of the man that they did, let down by not being there, even though it's not at the same time period. I don't know. But for us non-religious people, it seems so strange that honestly, he's the Pope, he's the leader of your religion, if you're a Catholic, right? That it devalues your beliefs, because it seems like, well, who can believe such madness, right? What does you beating yourself with a belt have anything to do with perfecting your religion or being a better person or getting into heaven? I don't know. It makes no sense. And of course, in the Catholic eyes, they're like, oh, this is awesome. What a great guy the Pope was. Mm-hmm. Look at how much closer he tried to be to Jesus, and look at how much he punished himself. But that's part of what I hate about the religions. I got to be honest. Mm-hmm. It's all about feeling guilt, punishing yourself. You're a bad person, and the way you perfect yourself is by beating the shit out of yourself. Right? That's crazy. It's crazy in Islam. It's crazy in Christianity, Catholicism, etc. And now, of course, they're like, hurry up, make him a saint, make him a saint. They're looking for a miracle. They got to confirm a couple of miracles and a card trick in order to make him a saint.
It's really funny you mentioned that, because today Laura Ingraham was talking about guilt and how liberals are, this is what she says, liberals are so afraid to feel guilt, right? And that guilt is such a great thing in life because it steers you to the right path in life. It'll always make sure you do the right things. And she was basically saying that those on the left do whatever they can not to feel guilty so they could run rampant and, be whores and be terrible people, and they don't have to feel guilty about it. They don't have to feel bad about it.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, Laura Ingraham's a jackass, so everybody knows that, right? So let me answer her nonsensical point with a sensical point. Sensical, is that a word? All right, the sensible point. Mm-hmm. Look, here's the thing, right? If you're going to go out and harm someone else, is there value in our genes that make us feel guilty about that? Absolutely. That's why they're in our DNA, okay? And you should feel guilty about that. Now, but if you're going to feel guilty because you did something absolutely harmless because some stupid book told you, oh, that's the dogma, the Sky Lord will be really angry with you if you touch your penis, right? And then you're like, oh, no, my God, oh, I felt lust towards a girl. That's in your goddamn DNA. Excuse my language. Anyway, so then you're like, wasiktalon, and you're beating yourself senseless because you had a lustful thought or something. Well, you're being crazy, man. The question is, what should you feel guilty over? If you feel guilty over hurting somebody else, yes, that's healthy. That makes us human. If you feel guilty about something where you didn't harm anybody at all, but some dude, some rabbi wrote a book 2,000, 2,500 years ago saying, oh, yeah, these things, I don't know, I don't like them, And if you wear clothing of two different types, man, you should hate yourself. Look, again, I feel bad every time we do the stories. I feel like, people are going to feel like, hey, I'm disrespecting their religion, etc. But look, of course, it all depends on your interpretation. But, what can I do? This is crazy stuff. You got to recognize it's crazy stuff. And remember, the Catholics think the Pope is, like, infallible. Like that he's got it on lockdown. He's got this shit figured out. And he's like, God, what should I do? What? Seek the Lord, what? Seek the Lord, what? Seek the Lord. And you're like, no, but that's crazy. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And so if you believe that dude is infallible, I hate to do it to you, but I got a bone to pick with you. I don't think that's correct. Call me crazy.